So you want my whole story?
Want this to be true in your life this
Fire
year.
night.
We'd like you
They
to
all
sing
seem to
with
enjoy
us.
it.
Thank you for all the
They
blessing
sit back, relax, and enjoy the whole thing.
My name's Don Shugak. I work with Anchorage Native New Life Fellowship here in Anchorage as a board member and helping to lead, play guitar. I grew up in Old Harbor, which is on Kodiak Island. It was a different world back then. And so I used to go hunt bear, hunt seal, bring it home, and it was a life that was really attractive to me. So I'm trying to teach my grandkids now to do some of that. When I was about 11 years old, my mom was at a sewing class that the missionary Violet Abel was putting on, but I had to go ask her something, and so I went and opened the door and I saw a picture of the Bible. At that time, it just made sense to me that Jesus had died on the cross for me. So I forgot all about asking my mom about that question. And so I went home and I got on my knees and asked God if He's out there to come into my life. When I was 11 years old, my life started changing. When I was in the village, I saw all kinds of stuff that happened in the village that was not good because of drugs and alcohol. Lots of abuse. Kids not being taken care of. There was stabbings and shootings. My dad got involved in alcohol, and then his whole life changed because of alcohol. And so all the abuse that came from that. He was okay with me, but he was very angry. Having seen that anger and how he would treat me because of that anger, and the names he would call me, his anger passed on to me. I brought a lot of things that I had done that were not so good, or how I treated people. I brought all that with me even after I had asked God to come into my life. It wasn't until I went to Victory High School that the missionary Violet Abel had got an opening for me to go to. I was not a good character in high school. I was fighting with the teachers. Why they kept me there, I'll never know. I remember one time I had got so angry that I slugged one of the teachers. I decided, well, I'm going to leave. That I got dressed in my winter gear and started walking from mile 95 on the Glen Highway and walking toward Anchorage, hoping somebody would pick me up. And nobody ever did. And I got about 20 miles. I thought, well, I'm not going to live through this, so I might as well go back. And so I went back. The next morning, after I felt so bad, I just sobbed, and one of the teachers, who I call my spiritual leader, but he put his arm around me, and I couldn't believe that somebody would do that, put their arm around me. So I understood a little bit more about what love was like in my faith. After that had happened, that I saw Edna, I thought, wow, she was the best woman I'd ever seen in my whole life. 2 weeks I knew her, and We got married in 2 weeks, and it was very stormy because of my anger. But she stuck with me almost 50 years. I got my teaching certificate in Sheldon Jackson College. I had put in applications in quite a few places. Don't believe that they really want native teachers. It was nobody wanted me until this one guy came, and he said, "I'll hire you, but it's going to be the worst class in the whole district." I said, "Oh, cool. I'll try it." And so it was a non-dollar. After 3 years of teaching there, the kids grew to love me too, because I loved them. They all wanted us to stay, but we had to leave because I didn't make enough in the district to keep teaching there. And I got a job on the slope for a field production operator. And that meant we were responsible for oil flow from the reservoir all the way to the gathering centers. After working for 13 years up there, I'd wanted to be in Native ministry all those years. Finally, I just said, "Lord, I want to be involved in Native ministry. You make that happen as you see fit, but if it means that I leave the slope, I'll make that happen too." And that same night, I was exploded out of the well house. They didn't expect me to live. When one of my fellow operators heard the production control calling me and asking me if something happened on the pad that I was on, and I didn't answer, and he came driving over, and he saw that huge flame coming out of the well house. He looked over to his left, and he saw a little lump on the pad there, so he went walking over there, and he said, "Oh, that's done." I was burned on 20% of my body, and I had multiple broken bones. Femur was broke, my back was broken, injured neck, my hand degloved. Those are traumatic times back then. But you know what happened? The Lord got me up the slope. But he had to blow me up to get me out of there. And so I've been in Native ministry ever since that time. I once was lost and lonely. My heart was full of sin. I remember going to a concert. They sang a song that really touched my heart. It encouraged me to keep going, to keep doing what God wanted me to. I couldn't see what God could use me after being all those injuries, and He had other plans for me. Everything I'd gone through, I just remember thinking my dad's thoughts: nobody's going to take care of you but yourself. So you live your life like that. I didn't understand that there was more to it than that. That you trust God. My mom had given me a verse before I left for high school. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. I'm just learning after 72 years that I can trust what the Bible says is what God says He's going to do. He's going to do. So I'm learning to trust Him to do that. And that's a whole different world when you learn to trust God to me, it's an exciting thing. It's trusting God is something that you need to really have in your life, and obeying His Word. Read His Word so you understand what He says. Obey it. The fruit will come from that.